All right, Carm, let's start with an interesting tidbit I just heard from you. You were there in the bowels of AT&T Stadium after this game, and you tell me that despite upsetting the number 2 seed as the last team into the playoffs, the Green Bay Packers weren't all that hype about this?
It was pretty much business as usual, Dave, which we've heard all season long how quarterback Jordan Love, it might be his first year as starter, but this guy is no rookie and he is even keel. He is even Steven, never gets too high, never gets too low, which is a wonderful characteristic of a quarterback. But at the same time, I think I expected a little bit of emotion out of him coming into the tunnel off the field. And yet it was just business as usual. This is what was supposed to happen. Nobody was surprised, apparently.
Do you attribute that? I mean, look, the guy's on a heater, which, by the way, I'm going to continue to insist you take a little bit of a victory lap here. The guy just posted basically a perfect passer rating to get his first playoff win. Is that the influence of Jordan Love, do you think? Is it just the confidence that they've been playing with here over the last month? Is it Matt LaFleur? What do you attribute that kind of quiet confidence to?
I think that's how Jordan Love is as a person in general. This doesn't seem like this is a departure at all from who he was the last 3 years when he was with the organization, riding the bench behind Aaron Rodgers. You never heard from Jordan Love. You never heard stories about Jordan Love, even though he really was champing at the bit to get out there and prove what he could do. That's what he talked about in his press conference after the game, saying it feels good. And he's kind of fighting back a smile. And so I think he was kind of trying to keep himself a little bit more even keel. But at the same time, everything is coming together for the Packers at this point. The offense is clicking because they have more experience together. They have more experience against NFL opponents. And then you also have Matt LaFleur now having more trust in his offense because he can tell that they're clicking and he's opening up the playbook. And like we saw, you had Aaron Jones running all over the place, doing things that he does against the Cowboys every single time. And you had Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave both. Luke Musgrave finally got into the end zone on that tight end leak play that they ran against the Chicago Bears in week 1. Although Luke stumbled on that play, and this one he got a touchdown. So everything is just coming together for the Packers, and pretty much it seems like they expected this to happen all along.
I want to go back to that. And okay, I'm glad you're here to remind me. It was the season opener. Like as soon as I saw that leak play by Luke Musgrave, I was like, holy crap,
Yep.
They pulled it back out of the bag. But
They
that
pulled
was
it
my
back
big
out.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
No, they pulled it back out. That was the exact play. That's what Luke told us in the locker room afterwards.
I love it a lot, and I feel like it's a theme for the night. All due respect to Aaron Jones. I mean, the guy clearly goes off against the Cowboys. He had a wonderful night. But my biggest takeaway from watching this offense was just how discombobulated the Cowboys look trying to cover it. I mean, even without the Musgrave play, you've just got guys breaking open, getting lost in the zone. You talked about Matt LaFleur opening up his playbook. How dangerous is it when you mix this kind of talent with this type of play calling? Because it seemed like they were both in their bag on equal sides.
Yeah, it's so well-rounded. And the biggest thing that hit me was that Dallas clearly didn't game plan for Romeo Doubs. And why would they have? He has had kind of a quiet couple of weeks. He's had a quiet season for that matter. We all thought that Romeo Doubs was going to be Jordan Love's number 1 target. Hasn't quite worked out that way because he's given way to guys like Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks and these guys that were not on anyone's radar before. So when that happens, you can only game plan for so many people if you're the Dallas Cowboys or if you're any defense. And at that point now, you saw what Romeo Doubs was able to do, those just gashing chunk plays where he gets completely lost in the zone and nobody is accounting for him. And he's picking up 20 plus yards on nearly every single one of his catches. This is a guy that had over 150 yards in his first playoff game. It's incredible.